guys, welcome back to Ask Snes. Hope you're all well today. Here we go then, episode 52 guys. 1 year of doing Ask Snes videos. I can't believe it. It's pretty amazing. This is the 1 year anniversary, and just big thank you to everybody who asks questions and who watches the videos every week. Really do appreciate you supporting my channel and supporting these series of videos. I'm glad that everyone likes watching them, especially as they're such long videos as well. I know it's not an easy watch, but I'm just glad that people are getting behind them. Thank you very much, guys. And as usual, we do have a lot of questions. So the first question is from Glenn Station, so thank you, Glenn, who asks, what are your thoughts on Heavy Rain compared to Beyond Two Souls? As I personally enjoyed Heavy Rain, bar its forced twist at the end, but Beyond Two Souls I find really hard to get into. Yeah, I like both of the games, both really good. But yeah, I know what you mean about Beyond Two Souls. It was all right. I enjoyed it. I got through it, but it just, I don't know what it was. It just lacks that certain something that Heavy Rain has. Heavy Rain for me was, a lot of people seem to criticise Heavy Rain because there's multiple characters that you have to play, and then you switch between them constantly. I actually found that really good, and it was well balanced, and it didn't feel disjointed at all to me. It worked really well through the whole story, and it actually worked to draw me in more as well, to see all the different angles of the story, and to, you know, play as the FBI agent, as the journalist, to play as the private investigator, and to also play as the father of the child that's been kidnapped. It was really, really good the way they did that, and I really like the story of Heavy Rain. I like the way it was executed. The ends, yeah, well, you'll get different endings that depending on how you play the game. I think there's like 12 different endings, so I don't know what ending you got, Glenn, so, but the ending that I got, because I ended up killing a couple of characters by mistake. I didn't mean to do it, it was accident. One in particular I killed and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think Beyond Two Souls, they were concentrating too much on having those big name actors in there and trying to make it super cinematic, and I like the cinematic aspect of those type of games, but I just felt like there was too much emphasis on that and not so much on the actual game itself, which is weird because that's what people criticise Heavy Rain for, but I felt that was the perfect marriage of the two, of cinematic experience and gameplay. Whereas Beyond Two Souls was a bit boring in places, I found, and I found it quite difficult to get through some of it. There were elements that I did like. I mean, I liked the Africa part, that was quite decent. The one part that really I didn't like in Beyond Two Souls was the Native American section, because that just went on for far too long and it dragged out, and I was just like, can we get this over and done with? But yeah, I don't know what it was. I never found myself interested or attached to Jodie. Willem Dafoe's character was okay. I didn't think it was that brilliant. In fact, probably one of the best actors in the whole of Beyond Two Souls, I don't know the character's name, but it's the guy that works at the lab with Willem Dafoe who looks after Jodie. He was really good. But yeah, I don't know what it is, mate. There's just something about Beyond Two Souls didn't resonate with me. I know that other people like Crash Test Gaming think that Beyond Two Souls was taking what Heavy Rain did and what Fahrenheit did, or Indigo Prophecy in America, and perfecting it and making it a much better, more complete experience. I personally did not like Beyond Two Souls anywhere near as much as I loved Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is like right up there as one of my favourite games of all time. But yeah, it's a real shame. But you know, hopefully when they announce a new game, that'll be even better, so wait and see what that is. So cheers, Glenn. Next questions are from Java4, thank you, mate. First question, what machines do you play on the most at the present? I'm guessing that the Amiga is one of them. The Amiga is the main one, actually, to be honest with you, mate. At the moment, unfortunately, my Amiga is not working. The floppy drive's gone and I'm waiting for a replacement. So fingers crossed that'll be fixing that and there won't be any more issues with it. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. So I can't play it at the moment, so I'm not really playing anything. The main system I've been playing this week is the Xbox One, and I've just been playing Watch Dogs, which is weird because I played Watch Dogs on PS4 and that game irritated the shit out of me. There are some things that I love, there's some really good elements, but the game is not broken, but there's just like little niggly things all the way through the game that bug me. But for some reason, I found when I played it through on the Xbox One for my second playthrough, I thoroughly enjoyed it a lot more. And I think it's more because I understood what to expect from the game and how to handle it more than I did in the first playthrough on the PS4. It was completely blind. You know, on the Xbox One, I knew what the missions were going to be, I knew how to do them. So it made it a little bit easier, I think. I think that's like most games, the more you play, the better you get. But I've also found myself lately on the Xbox One version doing all the side missions, doing the fixer contracts, the criminal convoys, which I really enjoy the criminal convoys. Fixer contracts, not so much. Fixer contracts are a little boring because all you're doing is driving cars around and it gets really boring very quickly. But I still do them anyway just to kill time. My favourite are still the gang hideouts. Unfortunately, don't get enough of those, and that's what's lacking in Watch Dogs. But that's what I've been playing this week. I've got Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, the DLC, coming tomorrow. Physical format for DLC, you can't beat that. That's what I want to say. I was getting worried because it didn't look like it was coming to Xbox One, and at the last minute they announced it, so brilliant. But yeah, I've just been playing on the Xbox One. I will also be playing on the original Xbox shortly. I'll be hooking that up later on today. Looking forward to getting stuck into that because I've got a load of games to play on that one, so love that console. But yeah, as soon as the Amiga floppy drive comes, that's up and running. I can't wait. I'll be more happy when I can actually have the Amiga fully set up, because at the moment I can't. I have to keep setting it up, playing some games, putting it away, setting it up, playing it. It's really frustrating. As I'm sure you all know, it's always better if you've just got the system set up and you just walk in, slap your disc in and play it. So there you go. Have you recently picked up any games that you were disappointed with? No, not that I can think of anyway. No, I haven't actually. I haven't picked up that many games recently, and no, I haven't picked any ones that I've been disappointed with. And what have you recently picked up that has been a pleasant surprise? Just trying to think. It'd probably be something on the Amiga actually. Oh, well, I suppose yeah, I mean, I played it before, picked it up because I had a pirate copy, but Battle Squadron on the Amiga, because I've never played it as a kid, at least I don't remember playing it. And after playing the pirate version, I was running impressed, so I went and got myself a box copy, as you saw in the video. And yeah, I absolutely love that game. That's a really nice, pleasant surprise, really good shooter. Living in the countryside, do you have to use transport to get to most places, or can you reach, say, local shops by walking? Yeah, I do have local shops I can get to. Because it's a village, they have little village shops you can walk to. So, you know, you've got like post office and just convenience stores, as they call them. I don't know. Yeah, like, it's not a corner shop, it's because it's not on a corner, so it's, you know what I mean? But that's what we call them over here, isn't it, really? But yeah, you've got local stores now you can just walk to and grab your food. And, you know, post office is like 5 minutes from my house, which is really handy when I'm selling things on eBay. Other than that, if I want to go to town, I'll just get in the car, and it's about, depending on the traffic, about 15-20 minutes, so it isn't too bad really. So yeah, that's the thing I like about it. I'm out in the country, I'm away from all the hustle and bustle of the town and all the tourism. But if I want that, I can go down the beach anytime I want to just drive down there, so it's a nice balance. How's the collection for your original Xbox coming on? Are you after anything in particular? It's coming on well. There is a pickup video coming. You might see some games over there lurking. I have bought a load of Xbox games recently, so there is a new video coming up shortly, so look out for that. And I've got a couple more on the way at the moment. And yeah, in particular, the only things I'm really looking to get hold of are import exclusives. Now, if anyone actually knows an actual list of American Xbox exclusives, and by that I mean games that are only released on the Xbox in America, not exclusive for the Xbox, because a lot of lists I find online, when they're supposed to be American exclusive lists, they're not. They're just games that are exclusive to Xbox. So you have like AMP 2 on there, which came out in PAL regions. I just want to know what games come out in the US, because there's certain games I really want to get. Kill Switch, I absolutely love that game, so I'm definitely buying that. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2X, which is fantastic. I had that years ago when it first came out. It was brilliant. One I found out about recently, which I'd never heard of, was Combat Elite World War II Paratroopers, which is like sort of a top-down isometric World War II game. That looks absolutely fantastic, so I definitely want to get hold of that one. And I'm just trying to find out any really good American exclusives. I know what the Japanese ones are, and quite frankly, most of them don't interest me. The only one I'm interested in getting is Metal Slug 5, which is a little pricey, but I will get that. I had that last time and it was really good. But yes, anyone who knows what American games came out on the Xbox that didn't come out in PAL regions, please let me know. Are you planning to release videos for each of the Sony, Microsoft and Nintendo shows at E3? It'd be good to hear your thoughts. Absolutely, mate. I do it every year, so I'm definitely doing that. I will also do EA, Ubisoft, and if it's any good, I'll do Square Enix as well, because they're doing one this year, because I'm assuming they're going to be showing Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider. So yes, definitely I will be doing those. Nintendo just announced their plans, which I think is on the 16th, if I remember rightly, on the 16th of June, 5 o'clock UK time, for the Nintendo Direct digital event. So yeah, I'll be definitely watching that. So yeah, keep your eyes on my channels, guys, and you'll see some videos for those. Have you played any games in the Burnout series? If so, what do you think of them? I love Burnout, mate. Great games. More so the PlayStation 2, Xbox and GameCube era. I love the first 3 games. Number 3 in particular is probably my favourite. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, most of those, like, you know, Burnout Revenge and all them, they're really good games. I'm trying to think, what was that? I don't know, I think that's what I was thinking about Ridge Racer Unbounded, which was technically a Burnout game, not a Ridge Racer game. That was a cock-up, that was. But yeah, I really like the Burnout games. They're just fun because it's just trying to see how far you can go about crashing, and then sometimes it's just fun to just do the most crazy crash you can. And I've always said before, the best way to play Burnout is to consume a lot of alcohol beforehand. You drive a lot better for some reason. At least I do. I drive really well when I'm pissed. It's great. Only on the game though, not in reality. So cheers, mate. Thanks for the questions. Next set of questions from Retro Shane 88. Cheers, Shane. Trying to grab me today because it is a cold day. It's pissing down with rain today. It's dark. It's moody, but it's good. I like this weather. I don't know why, but I've always preferred this weather. It's more cosy, and I kind of get a kick out of this wintry weather. And you can't beat a hot cup of tea. Right. Congratulations on the 52-week mark. Cheers, Shane. Thanks, mate. So, first question from Shane. I believe that a majority Conservative was the best outcome for the country. It provides the stability needed and prevented the nightmare coalition of Labour and the SNP. Do you agree or disagree, and why? Oh, yeah, I do think it was the best thing for the country. As I've said many a time, I voted Conservative, so I was quite happy that we got a majority, because I honestly did think we were going to get a coalition this time, and I was worried that I didn't know where we were going to go. I thought if the Conservatives get in, we're going to end up with a Conservative UKIP coalition. I really did think, honestly, up until the end, that Labour were going to get in. I thought people were going to swing towards Labour. There's going to be a massive landslide, and we're going to get Labour SNP, which people are saying, oh, it was, scaremongering about the SNP coming down from Scotland and all this, that, and the other. But it probably was. I mean, that's tactics. They do that in campaigns. But I do think that it's good that we had a majority government. Whichever government got in, the main thing is we got a majority government that can rule the country. I'd much rather have that than a coalition any day of the week. It was interesting more than anything for me personally to see that they got 100 seats more than Labour, and that Labour got trounced and Ed Balls got kicked out of his seat, which is fantastic because I hate Ed Balls. He's a total twat. So that was really nice to see. But yeah, it was really interesting. I did not expect that, and it just showed that people like to polls. That is the British way though, isn't it? If someone asks you a question, you're more inclined to bullshit. I mean, I do find it funny that the exit poll was as close as it was to the actual result, because I thought, well, most people, when they come out of the poll and people are doing an exit poll, you're going to be more inclined as a British person to lie just for the fun of it, just to wind them up, so that when they get all their data and eventually we all vote and they get the votes in, they're going to be like, hang on, this doesn't make any sense, which seems to have happened with most of the other polls, so there you go. But I think it just shows that people have had enough of Labour. They don't trust Labour still. They didn't believe in Ed Miliband as a Prime Minister, because quite frankly he was not Prime Minister material, not at all. And I think that until they go back and regroup and have a good think about where the Labour Party is going, they're not going to actually make any progress. I still believe that Chuka Amuna is the one to lead the party, definitely. He's got it all going for himself. I think definitely he should be the one. Andy Burnham shows a possible chance of challenging him, I think. The other candidates don't really care, but I would say Chuka's the man. But yeah, I just think at this point, I'm just glad that we got a majority government. Whether you agree with the Conservatives getting back in or not, you can argue about AV and proportional representation and all of that. But the system we have is first past the post. It's what we've got. It's what we have to deal with. And under that system, the majority of people have voted for the Conservatives to get in. So you can argue about so many, like 4 million voted for UKIP and all this, that, and the other. Under the system we have, that's the way it worked out. They got 100 seats more. They went past the number that they needed. They got a majority. It is what it is. We have to live with it now. I'm happy because that's who I voted for. I believed in Cameron and the Conservatives, and I believe that we need to stay the course and stick to the plan. We'll just wait and see in 5 years. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Well, not just me, obviously all the other millions of people that voted for the Conservatives as well. I was wrong about Tony Blair. I made that mistake in '97. But did I vote for him as Labour after that? No, I didn't. I've not voted for Labour since '97. So that's how much I distrust those bastards. And that's just quickly for the SNP. I'm not entirely certain what's going to happen there, because obviously they've got, 56 seats I think they got. So they're now in Westminster. They're going to have influence, and they keep going on about the fact that they're going to they want Cameron to get rid of austerity. Cameron's in a majority government. I can't see Dave doing that for two reasons. One, I just don't think he'll pay much attention to Nicola Sturgeon anyway. He'll just do the bare minimum he has to. And secondly, if he was to say, no, I don't, I'm going to go back on everything we've done and I'm going to cancel the austerity plan, that kind of flies in the face of everyone that voted for him and to kick in the nuts. So I think that would screw the Conservatives next time round. But that's what I think anyway. Have you played a port that was vastly greater or poorer in comparison to the original platform that you played it on? The only one I can think of, and it's going backwards instead of, because normally it would be forwards, but Call of Duty 3. I played that on PlayStation 3 when it came out, and it was crap. It just didn't work at all. I think I've played it on 360 and I didn't like it as well. But a couple of years ago, I managed to track down a copy in the wild for the original Xbox, and I played that, and it was vastly superior to the 360 PS3 version. I don't know why either. It's weird. It just felt like it was more at home on that console. It felt like it should be on that console. It didn't feel like a next-gen game at the time, and it was really, really good on the original Xbox. I mean, it's still not the greatest Call of Duty, definitely not even close. Call of Duty 2 didn't annihilate it, but it works really well on the original Xbox. Plays really well. When collecting, do you only purchase the original Black Label, or are you willing to accept for Silver, Platinum, or Player's Choice? Black Label all the way, mate. I will not buy Platinum and Classics and all that. I just don't like the artwork. I don't like the fact that they slap that logo over it. Some of them they put like the artwork, the original artwork, in little boxes. It just looks crap. So no, I'd much prefer to have the Black Label version. What is your favourite and least favourite controller? Favourite controller is the Super Nintendo. Gotta be. It's an amazing controller. Probably tied with the DualShock as well, because I love the DualShock. In fact, you know, it's really hard to pick one. If I was honest, I'd say it was a tie between the Super Nintendo, the PlayStation DualShock, and the Xbox controller. Like from the S controller onwards, not so much the Duke, because the Xbox controller is fantastic, especially the Xbox One controller and the 360. They're really good controllers. The least favourite is probably going to be the GameCube. Everyone seems to love that. I don't. I don't like the little sticks. I really don't like that Z button. I thought the Z button was crap. To be honest, even the shoulder buttons, they're just even though clicky's really good usually, they just feel really cheap and plasticky, and I don't really like the GameCube controller much. Although, if I'm honest, yeah, realistically, I'll probably say I could probably live with that one. And the least favourite is going to be the Wiimote and Nunchuck, because it's great for playing Wii Sports, and that's about it. So yeah, got them all over the shop with that one. Obviously, you collect games, amiibos, and music. Is there anything else that you're collecting or have a cherished collection of? Just film, really. But I mean, that's just something you just sort of buy, doesn't it? Well, at least I do anyway. Like Blu-rays, you know, as it is at the moment. Eventually, it'll be 4K Blu-rays. Those are the main things I buy. You know, I don't buy them all that regularly. I try and be a bit more specific. I only buy films I actually want nowadays. Back in the day when DVD first came out, I was just buying them all the time because I wasn't going to cinema that much. So I was literally just importing films from America and just, you know, it looked interesting, I'll buy it and watch it and see what it's like. Didn't really know much about the film. Nowadays, I get to watch them on the cinema and you know, elsewhere. And then if I like the film, I'll go and buy it on Blu-ray. I watched the film the other day, Liam Neeson's latest one, Run All Night, with Joel Kinnaman. That is a great film. I really enjoyed that. Liam Neeson's been a bit hit and miss of late, unfortunately. Taken was great. Taken 2 was crap. Taken 3 was all right. Walk Among the Tombstones, I got bored and turned it off halfway through. Didn't like that. But Run All Night is a really, really good film. Highly recommend watching that, guys. And I also saw Furious 7 the other night. Man, that film is awesome. The best action film I've seen in a long time. So good. Just full on from beginning to end. Jason Statham, The Rock, Vin Diesel. I mean, it's just awesome. And a really nice tribute to Paul Walker as well. Fantastic movie. Last week you mentioned the epic music of Streets of Rage. Have you listened to Yuzo Koshiro's Streets of Rage DJ set? I haven't, mate. I'll check that out. I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan, but over the last 15 years he's been in some terrible films. Yes, he's definitely doing it for the money. Have you ever watched Drive Angry? No, I haven't, mate. I haven't seen that one. To be fair, because he's made so many shite films, I just don't really watch any of his films anymore. I think it was like last year or the year before, I caught Bangkok Dangerous on Channel 5. That was really good. I really enjoyed that film, but generally I don't watch Nicolas Cage anymore because he's just doing it for the money. He ain't as bad as Bruce Willis, who really just doesn't care, because Nicolas Cage, you can see he kind of makes an effort. Bruce Willis just doesn't give a shit. But yeah, I'll have to look that one up. And who's the biggest twat? Here's a new set of questions every week now, isn't it? Current reigning and undisputed world champion Piers Morgan or Nicola Sturgeon? Piers Morgan all the way, mate. I can bear Nicola Sturgeon. I can't bear Piers Morgan. He's a prick. Nice question, I like that, Shane. Next set of questions from Street Waffle. I still don't know how to pronounce the last bit, so I do apologise. Okay, first question. Oh, don't drop me today. First question is, what is the game you've replayed the most throughout the years? Mine is probably Resident Evil 4, absolutely adore it. Probably Uncharted 2, offhand, at least in the last few years anyway. And I think all time would be Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or just Street Fighter 2 in general, but I mainly played Turbo, because I just always go back to that game, it's fantastic. But yeah, in the last few years in particular, it's definitely been Uncharted 2. I've just gone back and forth. Actually, there's two games, Uncharted 2 and Medal of Honor Tier 1, because I absolutely adore that game. That game's fantastic. Speaking of which, what is your opinion on Resident Evil 4? I've not played enough of it, to be honest, mate, so I can't really give an opinion. I only played a little bit of it and I wasn't that impressed, if I'm absolutely honest with you. You mentioned in your previous video that 2D games have aged better than 3D games. I agree. Especially many early 3D games haven't held up that well. However, what early 3D games do you think are really good to this day? The problem I have is that a lot of the early stuff on the N64 and PS1, I'm never sure which ones are actually 3D, which ones are 2.5D. So games that are supposed to be 3D might not be 3D. So I'm just going to go with what I believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'd say games like Spyro, Croc, they've aged really well. And I mean, as long as you play them on a CRT TV, the Tekken games still look really nice. I can personally, the whole polygon thing, and you know, I know people say they look blocky, but it don't bother me. I mean, Tekken 3 is a beautiful looking game. You put that on a CRT TV and it looks really good. It's aged exceptionally well, I think. So yeah, I'd probably just say those ones. What if technologically superior aliens came to this world and wanted to harvest the entire human race as fuel for their spaceships? Cheery. Earth's leadership, however, want to try and change the aliens' minds by trying to convince them of using an alternative fuel source, like hydrogen from the oceans. Who do you think we should send as an emissary to broker a deal with the aliens? Stevie Wonder, Pingu, Paul Gascoigne or Gordon Ramsay? It's got to be Ramsay, mate, all the way. Absolutely, Gordon Ramsay would be awesome. Can you imagine the negotiations with Ramsay? He'd just be all up in their face, telling them to fuck right off and get out of our planet. He'd be brilliant. I would pay to see that. I think Street Fighter 2 is still the best fighting game to this day. Do you think any other fighting game will ever beat this classic? No, definitely not. Street Fighter 2, you're absolutely right, it's still the best. I don't like Street Fighter 4 very much at all. I never played Street Fighter 3, so I don't know. And I've heard that apparently that one goes down quite well in the tournaments. It's very technical. There's a lot of, you know, a lot of moves and a lot of tactics involved in that one. But number 2, you look at number 2 and it looks really simple. But when you break it down, it's not the amount of decisions that you have to make in a split second when playing those games. Game's flawless, man. The characters are brilliant. You know, they really nailed it. They got fantastic, iconic characters on all sides, the good guys and the bad guys. They got fantastic soundtracks. I mean, Jesus, man, the stage music is so good. The stages look really good. The bonus rounds are really good. I mean, the game is just perfection from beginning to end. I love Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 is quality. I'm really looking forward to Batman Arkham Knight, as I think it looks absolutely fantastic. What is the game you're looking forward to the most? Uncharted 4, I think that's a given, that's definite. Quantum Break for the Xbox One, I'm really looking forward to trying that on it. But mostly this year, Rise of the Tomb Raider, that's the one I can't wait for. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that. And I'm hoping next month that Square Enix and I'm assuming Microsoft will both have some kind of footage from Tomb Raider at E3. So I don't know which way they're going to do that. If they're going to have like a trailer at Xbox and then gameplay at Square Enix, or they're going to have multiplayer at Xbox and single player campaign at Square Enix. But either way, I just can't wait to see what that game looks like. Especially as it's an Xbox One exclusive for the time being as well. It's going to look absolutely gorgeous. Have you ever played either Metro 2033 or Metro Last Light? I played Metro 2033, I hated it. It was an absolute mess. It was a travesty of a first-person shooter. One of those clunky first-person shooters where you always get to a bit where you don't know where you're supposed to go. You're just wandering around the level for like an hour and you can't find the bloody door. Drove me insane. And it was too difficult as well. A lot of the time I was just getting killed without even moving. It was shite. Last Light, I did start playing on the PS3 and I got bored. It was really good when it started out. It was quite a decent game. It looked really nice, but I don't know, I just got sick of playing it. I was just like, I'm just not motivated. You know, you're playing a game and you're just forcing yourself to play through it, and it's like, you know, you just have to put the control down and say, look, this is just not for me. It's a real shame. I wanted to like it. It was better than 2033 anyway. Do you enjoy the horror genre, and if so, what is your favourite horror movie? When it comes to horror, mate, when I was growing up, to me, horror was like Freddy Krueger and Jason and all that, and like gore movies. But I know nowadays it's a lot broader, and it can mean all kinds. I prefer films, psychological films. Like, I like The Purge. I love the original Saw. The original Saw is a fantastic example of great horror. I just don't have any interest at all in gore films. Like, all the Saw sequels were bullshit. The story was paper thin. It was just gore, and it was like, this is not Saw. The original one was so cleverly made. So I'd probably say Saw. Why is math so difficult? Mate, I wish I knew, because I'd love to be better at it. I'm okay with the basics. I can, you know, like most people, I can do, you know, addition, you know, subtraction and your times tables and all that. But I mean, yeah, multiplication. But when it comes to algebra and anything to do like triangles and, you know, if x equals y plus z and all this, I'm just like, what the hell are you going on about? It just goes right over my head. I've tried so hard to understand it, and it just will not go in. My brain just does not work that way. It really pisses me off. I'd like to know more. If you could get one rare game for free, which game would that be? Super Turrican 2 for the Super Nintendo from America. Re-rate day. I want to play that game. I need to play that game before I die, because that game looks awesome. Okay, so thank you very much, mate. Cheers for the questions. Okay, next question. Right, next set of questions come from Mark. Sega sent me one. Thank you, Mark. Just have me tea again. It's better. Right, number one. Happy with the outcome election, matey? Even you must admit that it was rigged. It had rigged all over it. No, mate, not at all. It was not rigged in the slightest. Jesus Christ. Come on, man. They all thought it was going to be a coalition and the country was going to be in turmoil. No one saw that coming. It was going to get a full majority. And I certainly didn't see Ed Miliband getting such a trouncing. And the Labour Party got annihilated. It's amazing. But yeah, as I said, I'm happy. It is what it is. So, you know, we've got 5 years, so we'll see how it goes. What's your favourite and worst day of the week? Worst day is Monday. I don't know what it is about Mondays, but they just got a weird feeling about them. And I always feel like I just can't wait till it's over and I can get the week started. Favourite day? I don't really have one, to be honest with you. Possibly Friday, because Friday's got a nice feel to it sometimes. Although I kind of like Saturdays. Saturdays feel good. Probably Sunday. I'll probably say Sunday's my favourite, because Sunday's a chill out day. It's I don't know, it's just got a calm feel to it. You can just kick back, especially when it's like this and it's raining as well. There's nothing better than a rainy Sunday afternoon, dark clouds, and you just crash on the couch, put a film on, just get lost in that world. Yeah, that's the best feeling. What is your favourite sterling note, and what country has the best name for money? I've never really thought about that, Mark. That's a weird question. Probably the £50 note, because I don't get them and I'd love some. But no, they actually look really nice with the pink as well. I think they're quite cool. Just don't really see them that often. And favourite country's money. Well, the best name for money is probably dollar. I just love that. I mean, dollar's cool. It's got so many connotations, like, you know. Yeah, but I won't go there. But it's just I'll go with dollar. What's your favourite in-game money in a video game? I have no idea, mate, to be honest with you. I never pay attention to it. It's just a number, so I don't really pay attention to the different types of money that you have in games. If you were to open a retro game shop, how would you price your games compared to the internet auction sites? Fairly. When you got, you know, if you own a shop, you've got overheads and a business to run, so you've got to be sensible. But what you need to do is to try and get them just under the eBay stores. You know, you can't go too low, because you've got to make sure you're not ripping yourself off and your business goes under. But you can't obviously overcharge for them as well. So you've got to try and get a fair balance, which is really difficult. It all comes down to where you're getting your games from. If you're buying them in the UK, people are trading them in. You can give them nothing for trade, and then that way, you know, like game station, like cash generators and converters do, where they give you like 10p a game or something, and they sell them for like 150, £2. That's all right. Or if you're buying import games, you've got to work out how much it's going to cost you to import them with shipping and tax and everything, and then how much you need to sell them to get a profit, and then you have to look at what's on the auctions and how much they're selling them for. That's going to be, I think import sales must be really difficult. I don't know how companies like Console Passion do it, to be honest. Have you ever been in a video game tournament? I haven't, and Nintendo's just announced that Nintendo World Championships is coming back. Can't see how that's going to work, but also. Lately I've been missing the feeling of going down to old VHS shops, renting out films and old video games. Do you miss this feeling, and were you a member of Blockbusters? No, I wasn't Blockbusters. We had a local video store called Video King in the 80s, and I used to go there and get on with films. And yeah, I must admit, I did kind of like that. All this digital stuff and just buying films off the internet, like Blu-rays, DVDs, it's kind of taken it away, hasn't it? There was something nice about, I used to go, on a Saturday night, so I guess my dad would go and get a film, and my mum would be doing the food or whatever, and me and my dad would get in the car, drive down to the video shop, which was, I don't know, it's got to be about, I'm trying to think now where I used to live, it's got to be about 20 minutes away in the car, easy. So you have to drive all the way over there, get to the video store, look at all the racks of videos on the wall, and just hope that the film you want is available. And the amount of times you go there and there'll be a new film that'll come out and everyone's rented it out, and there'll be like 10 copies on the wall and they're all gone. You'd be like, that was so frustrating, that was. But you used to spend you could spend like half an hour and they're just walking around all the films, just trying to figure out what we're going to watch. Those were good days, because back then as well, it wasn't as easy to get like hold of trailers and all the information you get nowadays, because obviously we didn't have the internet. So, I mean, you probably know this anyway because you're my age group, ain't you? But yeah, those were good times, man. I must admit, the video shop was a good thing. What do you really resent paying for in this world? TV license, mate. Some people would say water, but they have to filtrate the water, so you got no choice there. I would say TV license because it's an absolute rip-off and it's completely unnecessary, and especially as we don't get anything for it as well. I find it hard buying old retro consoles I've never owned or played growing up. Do you suffer this same fate, or should I branch out? Me personally, no, I don't. I've bought several over the year that I never had as a kid. PC Engine for one, and Master System as well. And I really enjoyed them. They're great consoles. I think you don't need to worry about it, mate. I think at the end of the day, if you have an interest in the console, you want to try it, and you can afford to do it, then go for it. Just pick one up cheap. I wouldn't worry about getting a collectible version, like a really nice box one or anything. Just get a cheap old knackered console, don't matter, as long as it works. Get some games, try it out, see if you like it, because that way you ain't going to spend a lot of money then. Say you spend like 20 quid or something, it ain't that big a deal, is it? If you play it, you enjoy it, great. You can always upgrade later on, get a better version in a nice box and everything. That's the way I look at it. Because there's no point going full on collectible, getting it and finding that you don't like it and you've wasted all that money, because then you've got to try and sell it again. Ever tried Tango Blood Orange? No, I haven't, mate. Interesting. I'll give it a try. You ever been curious to join the Freemasons, or what goes on in a Mason's Masonic temple? My granddad was a Mason, as it happens. I don't know anything about the Masons, but no, no, I'm not into the whole secret society thing, to be quite honest. If I wanted to join one, it'd be Skull and Crossbones as well, but that's never going to happen. Do you like cream teas? I've never had one. Apparently they're really good. My mum tells me they're really nice, but I've never tried one. Ever stayed in a Premier Inn, Travel Lodge or Holiday Inn? If so, which was the best experience? I haven't. I'd like to try Premier Inn because according to Lenny Henry, they're pretty bloody good, so I would like to try that. Why are car boot sales so damn early? I know. I mean, it doesn't bother me if I can get up, but I usually get down there about 9 o'clock, and I think they open around about 7, which is just insane on a Sunday morning. But yeah, it does make you wonder, and people that get there that early, crazy. I mentioned about a Nintendo theme park a few weeks ago on your Q&A. Lo and behold, it's announced that Nintendo are teaming up with Universal to make a park. I didn't know that, that's cool. Someone from Nintendo is watching your channel and pinched my idea. I hope they give me and all your subs free entrance fees now for the idea. Yeah, you'll be lucky, mate, it's Nintendo. Anyway, what do you think about it, and are you saving for a holiday of a lifetime to go and visit? That would be really cool. I had no idea they were doing that. That'd be sweet. Is that in America? I'm assuming it is. If it's in America, then yeah, that would be bloody spot on. And yes, if anyone's from Nintendo, if Reggie, if you're watching, mate, you know, please don't be offended by my videos I've made about Nintendo in the past. I do still love you. I just feel that your company's going in the wrong direction. But yeah, please help us out. If we can all get a trip over there to go to this Universal Nintendo theme park, that'd be superb. Send me some tickets and I'll give them away as a competition on my channel. Yeah, like Reggie's ever going to see this. What's the better animation, Disney or anime? Oh mate, you're asking the wrong person. I don't know anything about anime. I've only watched a couple, so I would have to go with Disney from personal experience. But I could, you know, if I had more experience of anime, I would probably pick anime. But I don't know. What do you think of James Corden doing the Late Show in America? Are you a fan of his? I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I like him. He's alright. He's funny. It's a bit weird in doing that show. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, he's alright. I recall you saying you don't watch manga anime movies series. Can you recommend Street Fighter 2, the animated? Could I recommend, Street Fighter 2, the animated movie? Highly recommend you start with that to get into them. Give it a whirl. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I suppose I can give it a shot. I just find, I don't know, as I'm older, I find animated movies just difficult to watch. I think the last one I watched was probably like The Incredibles or something, which wasn't that great. Yeah, Finding Nemo was my favourite. I love that film. That was brilliant. When was the last time you tripped up or had something embarrassing happen? This morning. I nearly fell out of the shower. I don't know what happened. I put my leg up on the shower to dry my leg, and my foot just went and I went straight over the edge of the shower. That was good. I managed to stop myself before I cracked my head on the radiator, mind. But yeah. Describe the colour green to someone who's blind. How the hell do you do that? I don't even know how you describe any colours to someone who's blind, to be honest with you, mate. I don't know, mate. I'd have to think about that. That's a tough question. Should people believe in Santa? Absolutely, mate. There's nothing wrong with that. Father Christmas is awesome. It brings joy to everyone every year. So yeah, absolutely. What becomes a tradition and how does one determine it? I would assume it becomes a tradition because it happens on a regular basis, whether it be like every year, every couple of months, or just something you do the same time every time, like once every year, like Christmas, you do it every year, so it becomes a tradition. How do magnets work? I have no idea. When they ship styrofoam, what do they pack it in? I don't know. Probably peanuts, then styrofoam peanuts. Keep it in the family, like. What is that when you're What is it that when you're driving and looking for an address, you turn down the volume on the radio? That's a great question, mate. You know, yeah, that is. There's so many things like that in life that we do, and they make no bloody sense. You're right. Who was the first person to look at a cow and say, "I think I'll squeeze those dangly things there and drink whatever comes out"? You know, it's things like that that always amaze me. When you look at all the things we take for granted on a daily basis, it's like, at some point someone has done that. You're right, someone's gone along and gone, I wonder what happened if I squeezed that. No, hang on, there's something coming out. I mean, they wouldn't have called it milk either, it'd just been a liquid. I wonder what I can do with that. Can I sterilise that? I mean, it's just insane. What came first, the fruit or the colour orange? I would say the fruit, because we would have to identify what it is first of all, and then we'd probably identify the colours, but it depends if we... I don't know. Yeah, I would say the fruit was there first because it's always been there. It's been eternal since life began. And then we eventually came along and we would discover fruit, but we'd have also started naming things and calling it like an orange or calling out colours and everything. So I would have said the fruit's always been there. It's always been growing. So that was there before we decided what colour it was or what it was called. Are zebras black with white stripes or white with black stripes? White with black stripes. If the Energizer Bunny attacks someone, is it charged with battery? That's terrible, mate. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it is. What do you eat for lunch? It depends on the day. I usually like a French stick, some meat, salad. No, I'm pretty basic like that. Do you eat brown or white bread? Maybe 50-50. I don't like 50-50, to be honest. It's pretty bland. Prefer brown, wholemeal all the way, if I can get it. White bread if I have to. At what age do you stop trolley surfing in the supermarket? Well, I'm 37 and I'm still doing it, so I don't know. I did that the other week actually in Morrison's. In your Ask Snes playlist on your channel, you have 53 in that list. How is this possible since I'm currently writing questions for episode 52? Because the other week there was an episode where there were 3 different videos for it. Because remember I had the 100 questions and I split it up into 3 videos. Can you name a... and there's also, if I remember rightly, there's the... in the playlist, there should be more than 53 because at the beginning there's the video where I announced that I was going to do this, I think. Can you name a show everyone loves but you hate and why? Breaking Bad. And what else is there? Game of Thrones. I don't hate Game of Thrones. I've never watched it. It just doesn't interest me. But yeah, Breaking Bad. I don't get it. I watched a couple of episodes. And I was like, that's it. I can't watch any more of that. And people always say you can't watch a couple of episodes. I can. I watch too many shows. I can't afford to just waste time on shows. But I did not like that show at all. I'm currently trying to buy an awesome deal on Gumtree. A Sega multi-CD with, I think that should be Mega CD in it. It says Muti CD, so I'm assuming that should be Mega CD. With 11 games, 13 Mega Drive games for 50 quid. Not bad. Ever been in this situation when it sounds too good to be true, but pray you get a steal? All the time, mate. I've just had it actually with a vinyl record as it happens. I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, and it did, so I was really happy. And I'll be talking about that in an upcoming vinyl video because I was really happy with that deal. But yeah, it's nice when it does work out. What sequel in a movie or a game can you not wait to come out? Jesus. What's coming out at the moment? The only thing I can think of is Captain America 3 Civil War. That's going to be awesome because I love Captain America films. They're fantastic. So yeah, I'll go with that one. Who is your favourite villain in a movie? Hans Gruber. Yeah, gotta be really, isn't it? What is your favourite comic of all time? I don't read comics, Mark, unfortunately, so I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. Favourite actor or actress? Actor's impossible. Well, I would say Edward Norton is my favourite, but there's so many I love, like Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington, you know. But yeah, Edward Norton is definitely up there. He's amazing. Actress, not really. I can't think of any really, to be honest, female-wise. That, I mean, Dame Judi Dench is amazing. Helen Mirren's really good. I really like Keira Knightley actually. I think that's probably just because I think she's fit, but yeah. Do you sometimes find E3 underwhelming? The event is amazing, but the game showcase. Hang on. Well, I'm not too sure what that bit is. But no, I don't find it underwhelming, if I'm honest, Mark. As I said before, it's like my second Christmas. It's the second best time of the year for me, and I absolutely adore E3. And I can honestly say I've not found it underwhelming once yet. There's always something that really impresses me. And this year, I'm really excited because this year we're going to be seeing Project Morpheus from Sony. And everything I'm seeing about that looks so cool. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty biased because I love VR and I really want it to be a success, but man, I can't wait to see that. Will 2016 be a better year for gaming? I would hope so. I would hope that it starts really taking off because we're nearly 2 years into the life cycle now. There ain't a lot to show for it, so yeah, I think it will be. Will the next Nintendo console have amiibos? Yes, I think that's a guarantee, mate. I mean, Christ, they're selling like hotcakes and they're making millions of dollars, so yes, I would definitely think that's going to happen. I went back to view your old episode. Man, your NTSC SNES collection was something else. Thanks, mate. It's tough to collect for as not much available in this country. What is the most exciting to collect for? Why was it the most exciting to collect for? I mean, yeah, I really enjoyed collecting for the American SNES. And yeah, well, it's not easy to get games in this country, but I'll be absolutely honest, I prefer not to buy them in this country because UK sellers are shite. You know, 99.9% of people who sell on eBay in the UK have got no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to package things properly. They only use second-class post, which drives me insane. Their customer service skills are absolutely non-existent. Unfortunately, that little 0.1% of sellers are absolutely superb, and that's the problem in the UK. They're either shite or they're absolutely phenomenal. You don't get anybody in the middle. Me personally, when I sell on eBay, phone's ringing, I'll get it in a bit. I'm on the phenomenal side because I'm really good at selling and I make an effort. That's really annoying that happens, isn't it? But yeah, I really enjoy collecting for the American SNES because I used to buy them from America for the most part. it was always good hunting the games down and just finding those absolute gems. You know, it would be tough sometimes. You'd just be waiting and waiting and waiting for a good deal, but when you got one, it's fantastic. Please find the courage to quote Arnie in The Predator on camera. Get to the chopper. No, mate, I'm not doing. I can't do an Arnold impression. I'm not making a twat of myself. Top 10 games of all time. Oh Jesus, man. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This is in no order anyway, because I don't know what order to put them in. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Castlevania 4, Super Mario World, Uncharted 2, Heavy Rain. My God. The Turrican series, I'm going to put all that as one, because they're just amazing games. Speedball 2, love that game. Final Fight, Pit Fighter, Operation Wolf, there you go. Top 10 worst games of all time is really difficult. I honestly, mate, I'd be all day trying to think about that. I'll have to pass on that one because that's just too hard for me. Favourite colour for a video game controller? Red. Red's my favourite colour. Do you have 100% feedback on eBay? I do indeed. Are you taking bets on when the dog starts barking in your videos? No, I hope not, mate. I mean, today I've been lucky so far, he hasn't done it. What game company would you like to make different? Would you like to make a different genre of game? For example, I'm sure Rockstar made a table tennis game. They did indeed. It was on the 360. Yeah, I mean, so basically, you're looking for someone like Rockstar do open world games. Who wants to do something completely different, like a table tennis game. So I'm going to pick Naughty Dog. I mean, what can I say? What kind of game? I'd like to see a Naughty Dog first-person shooter actually. See what they could do with that. That'd be quite interesting. Or an adventure game, because I think they'd be quite good at both of those. Have you ever owned a 3D TV, or have you been tempted to buy one? And do you watch movies in the cinema in 3D? I watch movies in the cinema in 3D. I've not owned a 3D TV. I do have a couple of 3D Blu-rays, just on the off chance I ever do buy a 3D TV. Maybe when 4K's out and the TVs are cheaper, maybe. But I don't know. But then again, I'll be getting a 4K TV, so it won't really matter. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been that bothered about getting one at home. And to be honest, I've looked at 3D TVs in Curry's and they're absolutely fantastic. I was really impressed. So I should really, but no, I haven't got around to it yet. Okay, well, 52 questions for a year-long special. Congrats, mate. Thank you very much, Mark. I hope you don't mind me and some of my zany questions, but as always, I enjoy the interaction. No worries. Thanks for answering. And final question is, who is your favourite turtle of all time? Michelangelo, always, mate. He's the best. Right, thank you very much, Mark. Next set of questions from Keith Hewitt, so you know what to expect, guys. So thank you, Keith. And first question, especially for LFC Gamer, you're about to embark on a coach journey to Margate. What's this, like Del Boy, huh? Via Bristol, then a quick stop for lunch in a Little Chef. Did it even exist anymore? Jesus. At the coach station, you need to choose one of the following drivers to drive you all there. Would it be Stevie Wonder, Pingu, or Paul Gascoigne? I'll go with Pingu, just for the hell of it, for fun. PlayStation 4 or Xbox One? They both have merits, so I can't really say definitively one's better than the other. For me personally, at the moment, Xbox One, because I'm really enjoying it and I'm playing it a lot more because I'm playing cross-platform on that one. But going forward, it all comes down to exclusives, so we'll wait and see, because we all know Sony's going to have amazing exclusives. What are Xbox going to come up with? That's the most important question. What do you think about the election result? As I've said, happy with it, mate. It's, you know, I got what I wanted, so it's all good. Splatoon is a game I very much want to buy. What do you think of it? You've never really talked about it. I have talked about it, mate. If you remember the E3 video 2014, was it? Was it? Yeah, I think it was last year's E3. And I was going apeshit about Splatoon. I love Splatoon. I think it looks fantastic and it looks really refreshing to see Nintendo do something like that. So yeah, if I had a Wii U, I'd be buying that game. And it doesn't convince me to buy a Wii U, no. Love those thumbnail images you've recently added to your Ask Snes videos. Did anyone else notice? Thank you, mate. I don't know. No one else has mentioned it. I just thought it'd be interesting to try and change it up a little bit, because a lot of the time YouTube, when it picks thumbnails, they're pretty crap and it'll just be me in a funny pose. So I just thought, yeah, I need to try and pick images that are more relevant to the question that's been like the title of the video. So I'm glad you like them, mate. Hope others do as well. I wanted something that's striking, that also when people who don't watch my channel are looking for videos, that it just catches their eye straight away before they even read the title. You're decorating, the pot of paint is teetering above your Super Mario Kart poster or your car key card. Which do you push it towards? Mario Kart, because it only cost me £6, I can just replace it. Assuming all the following know how to play a video game, who would be better at it? Stevie Wonder, Pingu, or Paul Gascoigne? Probably Stevie Wonder, I reckon. I reckon he'd be pretty much a demon at gaming. Disclaimer, the following question asks about you rebuying a Wii U. Proceed with caution. Okay. You've been very disheartened by Nintendo over the last 6 months or so, but as you say, they are turning the corner. Sort of. If they transform into an on-the-ball company with a great replacement for Club Nintendo, will you be tempted back to Wii U? Well, Club Nintendo doesn't really bother me that much. I'd be more impressed if they came out of a console that has a normal controller, no gimmicks, is powerful enough to compete with PS4 and Xbox One. I know it's unlikely, they'll always have an underpowered console lately for some reason, don't know why. And most importantly, I just want good, solid games that are fun to play and aren't like aimed at like children who have no ability to do anything, you know. Because I mean, sorry, I kind of get a little bit sick of the argument of that the games they have to be easy to start with because kids are playing them. Mario on the NES was not an easy game. Most Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games were not easy, and we as kids just got on with it and learned how to play them and get better at them and perfected them. So yeah, I want Nintendo to sort the games out more than anything and just give us a decent controller. I mean, the power thing makes me laugh. I keep seeing a lot of American channels and people will say, oh, well, you know, Nintendo are renowned for having underpowered consoles. No, they're not. The Super Nintendo was not underpowered. The N64 was a 64-bit system. It was not underpowered. You can argue the fact that it used cartridges instead of CDs, but it was not underpowered. So, you know, in the GameCube, it was more powerful than the PS2, just not as powerful as the Xbox. It was in the middle. It's only since the Wii that they've not bothered their arse with power. So, you know. But I will not be tempted back to the Wii U, no. But if the new console comes out and it's really good, they may get me back on board. I always want Nintendo to succeed. Do any of your non-YouTube friends like gaming? And yeah, my friends outside of YouTube, like who I grew up with and that, yeah, we were all gamers. I recently discovered Video Game Nation, a program on Challenge that describes itself as the UK's only televised video game program. Have you seen it and what do you think? I haven't, mate, because I haven't got Challenge TV, so I've not seen that. So I will have a look see if I can find it online or something. Game Boy Advance games are dirt cheap at the moment. I recently picked up loads of games for £2 to £3 delivered off eBay. I love the system and can't believe I never owned one first time round. It's a mini Super Nintendo. Would you ever consider collecting for it? It does seem natural for you. I have done, mate, in the past, but I've never really stuck with it. I find handhelds hard to get into, as I've said before, so I would love to because I really like the GBA, but I just haven't got the motivation. Rewriting history now. The Wii U came out instead of the SNES all those years ago. 1991, I think. Yeah, it was 92 in the UK in April. It would have been the same price as the Mega Drive and massively powerful in comparison. How would it have fared? But it would have still had those shit controls, so it would have fared badly. That's why I'm looking at it. If they haven't changed anything and it still had that Wiimote and nunchuck, it would never have competed with the Mega Drive. Nintendo would have been sunk. What kind of fridge do you own? Not a clue, mate. It's just a fridge. It's a fridge and a freezer. It's just a standard cheap fridge freezer. What is your most treasured possession? Not necessarily gaming related. My life. I'm breathing every day. That's the most treasured possession. My soul, my energy, my heart. Congratulations on reaching 1 year of Ask Snes. Can you see yourself still making videos of some kind in 5 and 10 years time? I don't know about 10 years, we'll wait and see, but I would think 5 years, yeah, definitely. There's a 10-year age difference between us, but who grew up with the best consoles? I was a kid through the 16-bit, then 32, 64-bit eras. Well, to be fair, mate, we both had great times there because I lived through that as a teenager in those times. So I don't think either of us lost out there. We both got great consoles. And to be fair, that was when I started console gaming in the 16-bit era because I was computer gaming before that. Fictional situation, David Cameron releases a multi-platform video game to highlight all of his good plans for the country. Would you buy it? That is weird. How would that even work? It depends on the type of game. It would probably be a role-playing game, so more than likely no. You'd be playing like David Cameron and levelling up. That'd be so weird. Have you ever played Rise Star, a superb yet underrated obscure game on the Mega Drive? No, I haven't, mate. I've seen it and it looks really good, and one day I will play that. I recently got the new Kirby Rainbow Paintbrush game for the Wii U. It's fab. Is that a Rainbow Curse? Have you heard much about it? I saw it at E3 when it was announced. Looks really cool, but that's about all I've seen. It just looks like a good game though. Match the YouTubers to the following profiles. Right, okay. Complete Wii U fanatic. You, Keith. Someone who eats a lot of fruit and veg. That'll probably be you as well. Car fanatic. Stu Ninja Bear Hug. Or also Sean Fagan RS 500 as well. Ask the most random questions. Keith, definitely you again, mate. Match the following people to the following profiles in games. Stevie Wonder, Pingu, Paul Gascoigne and Mick Hucknall. Video game villain, Mick Hucknall. Someone you need to race down a slippery bobsled type course, Pingu. A confidant, Stevie Wonder. And gets to sell you rare items in exchange for hard to find currency commodity, Paul Gascoigne, because he's always doing deals. The Neapolitan Mafia are on your tail wanting to have a 24-hour gaming session with you so that they can learn your technique and skill in exchange for their protection. What do you do? What? Yeah, I don't even know how to answer that, mate. It depends what games they want to play. And because I'm not all that great at all games, so yeah, I would just keep them sweet because they are the Mafia and I don't want them shooting me. Is this the real life or is this just a fantasy? It's the Matrix. MT Games announced they need to give away all their retro stuff in order to make space for e-cigarette products. Why would they do that? They give you 1 hour's notice and tell you that if it's not gone by 2 hours time, it will be destroyed. What do? I'll get off my ass and I go down there and grab it all. I don't even know why they would do that, but fair enough. There's a wildebeest on the pier stealing turnips and wicker baskets from a little old lady, and Stevie Wonder is there cheering it on. How would you react? I'd video it and stick it on YouTube. Because what would Stevie Wonder be in Western Superman? That's what I want to know. In Sardinia, there's a cheese that's eaten with maggots inside. That's disgusting. Yeah, that's just wrong, mate. That's just... Why would you do that? Ugh. Has the YouTube community ever directly influenced the decision of a game developer or publisher? I have no idea. I would like to think we have, but I would highly doubt that we have. We only have one person in the community that actually works in the industry, and that's Soulfront Retro Matt. So you'd have to ask him. Has the YouTube community missed that one? Would you consider working in the video game industry? I've recently applied for a job in the industry. I don't know what I'd do, mate. It'd have to be more PR and camera work and stuff. I don't know if I'm that good. But if I was, yeah, I would do that. I'd actually quite enjoy that. Casino Zone levels in Sonic used to fascinate me as a kid. Did they for you? I never really played Sonic as a kid, so I can't say that, mate. I don't know. I don't even know which one the Casino Zone is, if I'm honest. Don't answer if it's too personal, but do you have any phobias? Not anymore. Used to be spiders, but I've gotten over that since living in the country because I'm overrun with spiders, so I can't be afraid of them now. What's the best graphics on the SNES? Super Mario Kart, as it looks crisp and clean, perhaps Star Fox 2. Oh, I'll probably go with something like Donkey Kong Country because those games are absolutely stunning. At E3, Star Fox U is a game that you, SNES-tastic, would really want to play and own, and it's released the day after E3. What do you realistically do? I'm not going to buy a Wii U just to play Star Fox, and I'm not convinced that it's going to be that good anyway. It might be a decent game. I just with Nintendo's track record at the moment, I don't see it being phenomenal, but I might be wrong. But I'm not going to go and buy a Wii U just to play that game. No way. There has been a recent ballot for a new character in Smash Bros. Who would you vote for? I voted 007 for GoldenEye. To be honest, mate, I don't play Smash Bros, so I'd be the wrong person to ask about that because I don't know anything about how the characters work in the game. You need to select a country you prefer the companies originate. The companies originate for the following products. Okay, so cars, Japan, consoles, Japan. Yeah, it's going to have to be Japan, isn't it, because of PlayStation. Your part-baked supermarket baguette, Italy. Your cereal, France. I don't know why, but we'll go with that. I was actually put America, Italy, Japan and France. I never even noticed that. I just answered without noticing that. Cool. Do you own any recipe books, and if so, which ones? I don't. As you'll know years. Hang on. Oh, as you know, that's what it should be. As you know, years ago, I found a Master System hidden in a junk shop, but the owner refused to sell it to me. Ever had a similar bad customer service? Not really. I don't really tend to have bad customer service. I'm pretty easygoing myself, so I don't really find many people that do stupid things like that, to be honest. I don't understand that at all. And the last question, my final question for this week: should 18 plus games have a mode that is toned down, censored mode that is password protected by parents so that any age can play the game? Not really, because the consoles themselves have age protection. It's whether the parents are aware of that and actually make the effort to look at what the kids are doing. You can always argue the fact that kids can't be completely controlled because they can go in the friend's house and play an 18-rated game. But that's just a cop-out. You should always look at what your children are doing in your own home, I think. If I was ever a parent, if it ever happens, I will be doing that. I'll be monitoring what they do, whether it be on the internet or playing games and watching films. I would not let them play Grand Theft Auto. So thanks a lot, Keith. Thanks for the questions as always, mate. So next question is from Nat Kennedy Breeze. Thank you, Nat. What would you do if you owned a book from the future that had 1,000 years of worth of sports results? You mean like the almanac? Would you give in to temptation and use the book to become a billionaire? I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't, mate. I think we all would. Yeah, you've got to, haven't you? I wouldn't completely abuse it because it'd be really obvious if you kept winning. You'd have to do it like every now and again, like a couple of times a year. Because if you did, or maybe a couple of times, then leave it a couple of years, then do it again. Because if you did it regularly, someone would realise that something's not right. Have you ever had a feijoa? I ain't got a clue how you say that. I apologise if that's wrong. It's a fruit that's grown in New Zealand. No, I haven't. I've never even heard of it, if I'm honest, mate. Thank you very much for the questions anyway. Okay, next questions come from Movies and Games 007 UK. So thank you, mate. Who asks, do you think this will be the last generation of consoles before we have digital-only streaming systems like the Steambox? No. I think looking at the sales at the moment, I would assume that in the next 5 to 10 years, depending on how long the generation goes, it might go 10 years again, that we would get one more generation of hardware. I mean, I would have said Nintendo would definitely be getting hardware out. The way it's going with Nintendo, I don't know anymore. But I would think we're definitely going to get one more generation of PlayStation and Xbox hardware. And I don't know though. Yeah, I mean, it might be that they might go digital only next time round. It depends how digital sells this time round. But I think we might just get one more generation where we get physical media. Or, I mean, realistically, what we want is just to be a balance like music and film. You get an option. You can have digital or physical like now. There's no need to just go full digital. But we'll wait and see. Do you think the Wii U will be like the Sega Saturn, that Nintendo will stop making games for it soon and the value of some games will go up in time? Yes. Nintendo games, first party, always hold their price, and no matter what, whether the console's successful or not, the games will, hold their price or just go up in price over time. Do you like sea fishing? I've never fished in my life, mate, so I don't know. So I can't really answer that. How will Konami manage now without Hideo Kojima? Difficult. They're going to have a tough time. Konami seems to be making a lot of bad decisions lately. I don't know what's going on there. I hope to God that they're not getting out of the gaming industry completely, because apparently I found out this week that in Japan, they have a lot of different businesses. They don't just do gaming, and gaming is one of their least profitable businesses. So maybe they are thinking of getting out. It'd be a shame though, because they're one of the most iconic companies. And are you a fan of Metal Gear games? And if so, what is your favourite in the series? I've only ever really enjoyed Metal Gear on the PlayStation 1, the first game. I love that game, it was brilliant. I've never been able to get into them after that, so I'd have to say the first one is my favourite. So thanks for the questions, mate. And the last question today, guys, is from Hoodnut197, who asks, if you could go back in time and show your younger self any modern technology, what would it be and how do you think your younger self would react? And also, which modern game? Technology-wise, it'd have to be the mobile phone. The smartphone is phenomenal. And if you took that back to my little self in the 80s, blow my mind. I mean, it wouldn't work as well because obviously you don't have the internet to connect it to, but you could kind of explain what it's supposed to do. That would be amazing. And which modern game would I take back? It would have to be Uncharted 2. Yeah, just take a PlayStation 3 back in time. I don't know if you could do it because I don't think you can take physics, but assuming you can take the hardware with you, take the PlayStation 3 or a copy of Uncharted 2, that would absolutely stun me. Or Heavy Rain as well, actually. I'd probably take both of those back because that would be amazing. So there you go, that's all the questions this week, guys. Thank you very much for asking questions. Thank you very much to everyone who's watched. And thank you to everyone who supported this series of videos over the last year. I'm amazed I've managed to do this for 52 weeks without missing an episode, but I'm really glad I did. It's all down to you guys, really. You give me the motivation to do this by watching the videos every week and by commenting and asking questions, so cheers. As always, guys, if you do have a question for me, please leave it in the comment section down below this video and I will reply to it next Friday. The cut-off is next Wednesday. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll see you next Friday.